Yes, sir, baby. Welcome to your favorite podcast. Y'all know what time it is. It's Tice Coliseum. We in the building, man. We doing our thing today, man. We got your three favorite people, your three favorite hosts. It's your boy RJ Ellison. Got my boy on the right side, man, Morocco Taylor. How you doing?
Man, I'm chilling, man. I'm ready to get into this two-tone blue business.
Yes, sir. Got my other partner below me, Leonard Firestone. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good. Titans making some changes that we actually happy about, so I'm
Mhm.
doing real good. Changes,
Yes,
the tide's changing.
yes, sir, man. It's good to come on here and have some positive vibes going on.
Yeah.
After what we've been through this season, man. We need to be on here. I mean, we've been doing good though. We ain't been having no sad podcast though. Like
Yeah.
we've been having
Right. It's
some good
like a
stuff.
huge woosah moment over here.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's been some therapy, but we always brought the energy. You know how it is. But let me go ahead and introduce a special guest. I got my high school classmate. You know what I'm saying? He does a lot of production for the Tennessee Titans. He gonna be here. He gonna give us the inside information on our favorite team, man. Let's go ahead and bring him in, man. His name Tyler King, man.
What's
What's
good,
going
man?
on?
What's
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 good
up,
going
with
on,
everybody?
you?
Hey, what's happening, Tyler?
What's
What's
going
up,
on?
Tyler?
Thank y'all for having me on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you don't mind, why don't you go and explain what you do for the Titans, man? You know what I'm saying?
All right, so my name is Tyler King. I work in production with the Titans. I'm in the main production booth during all the games. Um, last this year, I'm mainly just in the production booth, but last year I was on the field before all of the games and after all of them, doing like pylon camera type stuff. Um, in and out of the walkway to where the Titans run out at, all that good stuff, being around the players. It's a good time, man. I love it. Love it. Absolutely love it.
So do you view the Titans a little bit differently than
Oh,
what
100%. We were all talking before, and I think the biggest thing for me is, like we all listen to the zone, like we were talking about, and that's the hardest thing is hearing the fans say certain stuff, because it's like it's a family, man. Like this team, like I love Rabel. Like, I mean, the camaraderie of this team is just so strong, and they go through a lot, especially as we all know with injuries and X, Y, and Z, and it's tough sometimes. So sometimes I have to turn the dial because there is that personal aspect to it for me.
Yeah. So when you have fans that bash the team, it kind of like it kind of I can see it's like you part of like they feel like they bashing you, don't it?
It's almost like they're bashing them for the wrong reasons. That's where I get mad. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I can still, even though I'm a part of that, organization, I can still, like, we're going to talk a lot tonight. I'm going to be open and say some controversial shit. Like, yeah.
It's good. It's good. It's good. I got anything y'all want to ask him or?
Man, what got you into the front door for you to be able to start working for the Tennessee Titans? Like, how did that line out for you?
It's actually pretty funny, man. I was with a company, started working for a company, and one of the other supervisors that worked with me his name's Josh Waddell. Actually, shout out to him. It's DJ Toonsley. He plays all over. He's a Titans DJ. And he did the soccer games, ran like the advertisements. When you go to a soccer game, you see all the advertisements on the back wall, like going up and down.
Yeah.
So he couldn't make a game, and he called me and he's like, they need somebody really bad. So I worked a game with them, and I just told the producer, which was the same guy this was when they were before the new soccer stadium. I was like, hey, I bleed blue. I have open availability if you guys need me. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. So honestly, I just looked up into it, and I started, instead of just being like, I just want to do this, they had me doing like last year I was hopping around doing mini jobs. And this year I kind of more inside of like my role, and I'll continue to be with them until they tell me not to, So yeah. I looked up into it, all my family, and they were like, we're so proud of you. This is awesome. I'm like, I didn't do anything.
I wouldn't say
it was pure luck.
No, I wouldn't say it was luck, man. You got to take some credit for that. Opportunities come and you was accountable. You showed up. You took advantage of that. You could have said no, but you showed up. So when opportunities present yourself, you just got to show up for it. And you did, man. So, man, it's not luck, man. You got to show up when that door knocks. And, man, you did that, man.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man, you living a dream, man. I mean, it seemed like This is most definitely your dream job. But talk about game day, man. What do game day look like for you?
So, whatever time the game is, whether it's a 3:15 game, a night game, so I'll just say like 12 o'clock games, I have to be there at 7 a.m. So that's what a lot of people don't get is, I mean, even though all of our stuff is just on that Jumbotron, there's hours and hours of preparation. I mean, there's a guy that sits behind me and he has a basically the book of NFL records. So during the games, you know, when you're there and it's like Kevin Byard just passed this record for interceptions. I mean, it's so much more production than people even understand before the game starts. Like the things that we do to make sure that the crowd experience is the best. It's crazy. Like, did any of y'all go to the Cowboys game?
No, I didn't even go. I wanted to, but
I didn't make it.
Like they did this whole like light show and everything at halftime. I mean, that was like going on until when we got there until right before kickoff. I mean, it's just crazy, man.
I went to the San Francisco 49ers game last year and they did a light show. And
it was just like, it was similar to that, except
thing.
this time it got jacked up. But yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah. So can you have you met Derrick Henry, man? Like you met any of the big players? Like
all of them. Yeah.
Oh man. So how was meeting Derrick
put it
Henry?
This way,
like,
you know, when you're watching like CBS, like before, like what is it, the game day pre-show or whatever, and you see the quarterbacks in like just their clothes out there and their hats throwing.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I was on the field, like during that time.
Okay.
Derrick Henry is a man of very few words.
Yeah, I hear that he's very.
If y'all saw the Bussin' with the Boys podcast, I was shocked on how animated and how much he talked, because normally it's like, hey, what's up? It's like, hey, like, I mean, it's Tannehill on the other hand, way more to go back and forth and talk to you.
Is he just like he is in them interviews? Like, man, he's
Tannehill's
very
awesome. Like he's a great person.
Yeah, like when I watched Tannehill in videos, it just seemed like he just kind of like kind of nerdy a little bit. Like I'll be listening.
He's not nerdy. He's just a family man, dude. Like he.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. But yeah, it's
so
very,
dad vibes.
Yeah, like I'll be like, man, I'm like, are you like that all the time? Like when you speak to the media, I'll be like, man, like I know he has like a laughy song, man. Like
yeah.
But,
yeah, and everybody that's in the comments, we're going to pull up the comments, address the comments in the later of the show. So we see y'all in there. Keep commenting, keep liking, keep sharing for us. That helps us. We will be getting to y'all's comments later in the show as well, though.
Yes, sir. So, what team did you dislike playing against? You know what I'm saying? Like whenever you going out there, there's a team that come out there and talk trash. They feel like
that's easy.
Big boy team.
I'm gonna tell you, the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, that's
so I've got a story. I've got a story. So last year when we played them, there's pylons that you know, like the pylon cams that you see. We set those up early because we have to make sure they're working, because it's like a big deal, like when it comes to, you know, challenges and things like that when they cross the goal line. And so we would put an orange cone. If you notice, if you go to the games live, you'll see it. There's an orange cone. It's like the camera runs from the side of the stadium under the ground, and it comes up right there on the corner of the end zone. And we take the pylon before the game starts off, and it's just the cord, and that's why that cone's on there. Dude, they would like kick it over every time they would come up and do their offensive line drills and just look at us, and it's like it's like that kid in the hallway that like slaps the books out of the nerd's hands and is like, you know what I mean? Like, but they all like, and like, I did not have a good experience with Josh Allen, out of all people, actually. Like, I won't go into detail, but I mean, he wasn't as friendly as I thought he was going to be. Cincinnati Bengals, on the other hand, even though they put us out, Burrow, Jamar Chase, all of them, they're super nice. I hate to say it, but they are.
That hurts me to say, man. I mean, that hurts me to hear, because I just don't
sorry.
Like the Bengals, man.
You want to have a reason to hate them, man, but this don't help.
All these people in the comments are going to want to kick me off, but I'm just going to be honest. Like, they were really, really nice.
Yeah.
Man, I just don't like the Bengals, man. I don't like the Bengals.
I'm with you.
I don't like the Bills.
Hey, do you remember RJ, do you remember Devlin Sheffield that we went to school
Yeah,
with?
man. Oh my goodness.
He is like die hard, man.
Me and him stay going back and forth, man. Because every time the Titans lose, I already count on Devlin to pop up out of nowhere. Yeah, man, what happened to them Titans? I'm like,
Who
man,
Dey? Yeah, if I hear what is it? What is their thing? Who whatever?
Who Dey?
Who dat is the Saints, and they argue about that shit all the time, which is dumb too. Like, it's just get that out of here.
Mm-hmm. I always got the same friend circle, man. Every time the Titans lose, they always come and find me, man.
Oh, they do. I'm the same way, man. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious, man.
There's been a lot going on with the Titans, man. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, most definitely. Have you met Rand Carthon yet?
No, I can't wait though. He seems really cool.
And he gonna have to teach me how to get his beard like that, man. Like, dude, beard.
I'm dreaming of
I'm
that.
trying to get mine look like get my chop like that, man. Like, yeah, man. But yeah, I feel like he's gonna do really, really good for this franchise.
I do
we
too.
We gonna get into that later, man. We're gonna get into that later, man. Right now, we focusing on what's going on inside the Titans right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy because when J-Rob got let go, I was like sitting there and like one of his people sits next to me, and the Ryan, the guy that took his spot, came in and like introduced himself. My dumbass didn't even know who he was. I was like, "Hey, I'm Tyler." Like, he was like, "So what's going on here?" And we're like telling him what we do and everything. And he left. And I was like, "Wait, who is that?" And they were like, "That's the guy that interim." And I was like, "Oh shit!"
Oh.
I was like, I would have stood up to shake his hand if I would have known that. My bad.
So, what was that energy or atmosphere like when like J-Rob was fired? Did like was the atmosphere
Docile,
kind of
like,
known before a little bit, or just like everybody found out once it was done?
So I didn't know before when we showed up that day for the game that was after that. I can't remember who were we playing the game after he got like,
Jacksonville.
Yeah, it was Jacksonville. Yeah. It was Jacksonville.
Walking into the building, it was like, when those people in those dumbass ghost shows say like they feel like an energy, you could feel an energy. It was like very weird, awkward. It was very strange because it came. I thought even if they were going to do that, I thought they would have waited till after the season. So it kind of hit us all like, because I passed J-Rob every single game multiple times. Never like got in a full conversation with him, but he always spoke. He's very serious guy, but very nice. Like I liked him. I mean, he seemed like a cool guy, but draft choices,
Trade choices.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't even. Yeah. That's a whole other thing we'll get into.
So J-Rob, he's a pretty good guy. Is he pretty down to earth, or is he like? He be having a dip in his mouth, man. I'll be like,
oh, he always has a chaw, man.
Yeah.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was definitely a weird vibe. And that's what's weird. Anytime somebody big gets hurt, like it was like that last year when Henry went down, it's a weird feeling because we all like Mike Keith, everybody, Buck Rising, like all of those people, like we all may not talk, but we all like feel for this team. So the energy, like there'd be games where I'd walk in and I would be like, okay, the energy's good. I'm feeling good about this game. I mean, it's just weird, like being in that booth and eating the meals before the game with everybody. It's just very, there's just a huge energy, man.
Mm-hmm.
So is there like a moment or anything that's just stuck out to you throughout your whole experience that's just like been your favorite moment while working with the Titans?
It was like 10:30 and we had just done like the pre-show that they did on Facebook. They didn't do it this year, but they did it last year. And I look over and it was when Javon Curse was the 12th man.
Yeah.
And I'm real close with Matt Rogers, the announcer. Like me and him, like we're really close. Like we hang out all the time, like every game. Like we're always the ones eating together and hanging out. Him and his spotter that spot, players after plays, because he has a guy telling him what to say, Mm-hmm. So after that, I look over and Javon Curse, and he's huge. And growing up, he's my favorite player, man.
Yeah, one of mine too.
And normally, I mean, I've met so many people like that when it's coming to the 12th man, like Bullock. I mean, I do the TSU games too. I do, and he does the commentating for them on the radio. So I saw him but dude, Javon Curse, I just got up out of my seat and I was like, I probably shouldn't do this. I was like, hey man, I got to get a picture. And he was so cool, man. And in the picture, I'll have to send it to you, RJ. He's like pointing at me like this, and his hand is as big as my damn face.
Oh my God. Hey, that's the freak, man.
Yeah.
Don't call him the freak for nothing.
Hey, so I've been trying to tell them, man, like how much me and you know Dyson or whatever, Kevin Dyson, how he was like he was like, what do our people like? You know what I'm saying?
I talk to him on Instagram all the time, and what's crazy is I never see him. He's never in the booth with it. He's never there.
Yeah, I always hear him on 104.5 before and after the game. And I was just like, man, like that's one of the people that, you know, I've thought about, you know, to try to get on here. So
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So see how it goes. But yeah, we can go ahead. We went around about 16 minutes. We can go ahead and get into these topics real quick and go ahead and talk about these Titans and these future moves that we want to make, man. But first thing we will start off with is let's go through a season review. Like, what was some of your favorite moments? Like, what was some of the parts that we feel like we should get better at, or anything y'all want to put in on this season? Just give your opinion.
Now I'll go ahead and get mine out the way. I mean,
y'all do your thing, man.
Go ahead.
My favorite moment of the season was beating the Green Bay Packers, because that's the only game where I felt like we played a complete football game. The other games was a straight up disaster, no matter if it was the first half or the second half, just sitting there watching the team not be able to score points, or, you know, not able to sustain drives on offense. And that Green Bay game was just everything. I mean, me and RJ, we was sitting up here watching it together. I mean, man, that's the happiest that I've ever been this season, watching that game right there. And I mean, at the end of it, I mean, y'all saw what happened. Traylon went up over. Man, Traylon went up over. What's his name? Alexander.
Jair.
Yeah, Jair Alexander went up over him, man. Totaled him 10 yards. Like Tyler said.
When he pulled this, I was like, oh,
I was like, oh, yeah.
You see, we had to throw it in the intro,
I didn't know they were going to play that good. I did not. From what I saw all season, I couldn't believe they played that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that right there was my favorite moment of the season. And you know what happened after that? Tied down, and he couldn't contain himself. And it all went downhill from there, right?
Man.
How do you get a DUI when the team has free lifts?
Okay, so let me just touch on that real quick, because it's true. Literally, the cheerleaders, the players, that was my main thing. When I heard that, you know, that when Randy Moss does the show Come On Man, you know, like the little segment, it was that perfect moment. As soon as I saw that in the morning, I was like, come on, man.
Yes.
Take a Lyft, take an Uber. You don't even have to pay for it. Not that matters, because you're making a shit ton of money, but
right. But yeah, it's there. Just call and go. That's some of the first thing I brought up in the group chat when it happened. I was like, bro, ain't Lyfts and Ubers free for the Titans?
Yes, they are.
Understand it, man. I would just never understand Todd Downing as a Tennessee Titan. It ain't meant to be understood.
The cheerleaders even get free lifts. Like,
God dang.
So I guess Firestone, you want to go ahead and tell us your favorite moments, your season review?
Yeah, season review, like season review for me overall was like injuries. That's like the biggest thing. And you kind of felt that when like Landry went down so early. And like Landry went down, and like I know it doesn't feel like, because like we kind of forgot because it happened so early and so many other injuries happened. But like when that hit, like everybody kind of felt like, damn, is this injury bug gonna hit us again this year? The high for me was finally getting rid of Todd Downing. Definitely firing Todd Downing, getting out of that, and then seeing that we're going to finally start making changes and making a turn rather than trying to be the same old Titans. Like, yeah, we're going to be physical and we're going to be gritty, but we also need to get along with this new curve of offense too. So it felt like the tide has changed, and it was good to see that and continue to happen. So those are my highs and my lows.
Yeah.
You can go ahead, Tyler King, go ahead and do yours.
Man, I hate to like piggyback off y'all, but it is true, man. Like what you just said, those were two of the moments I liked, the Green Bay game and then the Downing situation. I think as far as like being a Titans fan, as we all know, it's like being in a toxic relationship. Like when it's good, it's really good. And when it's bad, it's like really bad. You know what I mean?
That's a good example.
It is, though. It really is.
You're not lying.
It's like
we'll promise we'll never go back to those bad days, and then you go back to the bad days.
It's like, hey, I take you out to dinner. We have a good like nightcap afterwards and everything, and then the next week you got to take me shopping, and I got to hold your purse. Like that's what it's like. It's hard. But so it's kind of been like therapy this season because I'm gonna hit on it, and it was the same thing last year. Is this we were able to overcome it last year better, but the injuries. I mean, at what point? And I'm not a coach. I'm not, but at what point do we go like? Is this are we training a certain way? Are we not training enough? Are we not training the right things? We have to. It's gotten to that point to where something has to change.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
So that's the injuries, man. It's just like, what? Like, I don't get it. No other team. I mean, yes, other teams have issues, but not like us.
Correct.
I mean, if we got out of a game where one of our cores started and finished with the same players, whether it's wide receivers, even shit, I'll put special teams in there, running back, anything. Like, it was shocking if we made it,
Yeah. I guess I'll go through my season review. I mean, it was a bad season. We can go ahead and just. I mean, it started off okay. Like, I'm not gonna. If we had our hopes and dreams when we got to 7-3, but like I guess one of the highs that was for me was that I went to the Washington Commanders game and I had a damn good time. It watched the DC, man.
You went to that game?
Yeah, I went to that game.
That's awesome.
Man. I love it. I'm going to, so I'm like, I go to, usually I'm trying to get to a point we go to at least one away game this season. And the away game that we're choosing next year is the London game. So I want to try and get my passport, go to London, whatever. So
I heard the Washington Stadium sucks. Is that true?
It was okay. I mean, it was okay. I feel like it's getting. I don't know. Maybe it's because it was my first time going, but like people are talking about how bad it was. And I'm looking around like it doesn't look that bad. Like, I don't understand what everybody's so mad about. But I will say though, like for the Titans fans, they showed up to this game. Like it was maybe like 20 to 30% Titan there. And like before the game, they had like this big Titan club where like there was like over about almost 200 something Titan fans. We was all turning up. Everybody had their drinks in hand. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talking. People, Titan friends from all over the U.S. I didn't realize I'm thinking we just in the South. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm meeting people from New York, Baltimore, like Philadelphia, and I'm like, man, I didn't even know we had Titan fans out there.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of them were former Oiler fans that became Titan fans. So a lot of that. But like I said, that game was good, man. Just the game itself was a good game. I mean, it was back and forth. I was talking trash to this Commander fan while we was doing the game, and his team make a play. He'd be like, "Oh yes, he would look." I turn back and look at him. They smile and they be like this, like, you know what I'm saying? Then like I remember that the play that got them that they kind of just knew like, damn, we probably ain't gonna get this one. When Tannehill hit that bomb to Nick Westbrook-Akina, and he threw it, like he caught it. And I told him, I said, yeah, we could do it. So we could throw them deep balls too.
which is something we need to do more of. But anyway,
yes. We need more deep balls.
Yeah.
And, so like the one part that kind of got me scared is whenever Christian Fulton got the PI and we got to the 1 yard line, and I was kind of just sitting there like, Lord have mercy. Like I was like, I looked at Kamau, I was like, man, y'all might get us, man. I was like, there was like what 5 seconds left, and then David Long got to pick it. I was going crazy, like. So it was a good game, and after the game was over, all the Titan fans, they was all crowded together. We was all having a good time, man. So that was a high for me. I guess another high be firing Todd down and then J Rob, because once J Rob, I was kind of out on J Rob after we got smacked up by the Buffalo Bills, because I was like, man, this team is not talented. But I was just so surprised that we were still winning because we didn't have that much talent. To me, I don't feel like we was the better team in any game. We were just winning because our coaching staff, our head coach is just that good, you know.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of called that too with J Rob like being fired. Like we didn't think it was going to happen, but we kept here talking like, man, there seems like him and Vrabel ain't. There's something that's a disconnect between them, and that's what it seemed like. And then all this stuff started to come out. It's just we was reading tea leaves at the time, but when he got fired, we was all shocked and surprised. Like we didn't really think that was about to happen, but we talked about it. But it started to make sense afterwards when you started to see everything fully.
After AJ tore our ass up.
Well, not even that, but knowing that the contract situation, he didn't offer what he's really said that they offered. He didn't get the big Simmons contract done when Amy wanted it done before the season. All these, like, he doesn't retain players. He'll draft players, but those players never get a second contract.
That's very true.
Henry. I think that's maybe somebody else has got a contract out of the players he's drafted. Everybody else is gone. Nobody sticks around with him. Well, he'd had no retention. So, yeah, he could draft, but the general manager had to do more than just draft, and he was missing those other 2-3 characters.
He was there when we got Conklin too, right?
Yeah, he drafted Conklin.
I think that was his first draft pick.
Yeah,
as a Titans G.
And I remember when we let go of him, I was frustrated.
I was too.
I just didn't understand. And you were talking about Jeffrey Simmons. I mean, honestly, and some people disagree, I think out of everybody, we have to pay that man. We have to. We have to. I mean, I think go ahead.
Yeah, after the AJ Brown situation, we can't go through that again. You know,
no.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be one of the first things that gets done now that we got a GM now is getting Simmons signed, because Amy wanted him signed last year, and now he's only going to be more expensive.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Oh yeah. The longer we wait, the more expensive he gets.
Yeah, he had a hell of a year. I think he had an All-Pro and he had a Pro Bowl, so he can use that as leverage. So he's gonna be expensive. You know, he's probably gonna be the highest paid D tackle in football. So yeah, they better give him his bag, man, before it goes up even more.
And if he didn't get hurt, his numbers would have been even better, honestly. Like, I mean, he was a nightmare for quarterbacks this year. I mean, he was touching them on every play, you know.
Yeah.
So y'all ready to go and discuss our Lord and Savior Ryan Tannehill, or you don't want to?
I would love to talk about the quarterback situation.
Yeah. Let's get to it, man. Two-tone blue beard.
I want to hear what all y'all have to say first.
Yeah, y'all go first.
Go ahead, Firestone.
Y'all know where
I'm gonna have to finish this before we start talking.
So y'all know where I'm going. I still like Tannehill as an option for us right now, just because of it's somebody that we know. But I'm also realistic that knowing that there can be better options, but also if we get to reach him, we're going to put ourselves in a worse situation than we truly are. I don't think Tannehill is truly valued by the fan base for as good as he really is and what he's done for us. But at the same time, I want Dobbs to stick around, because at any point in time, a QB battle is always good to have somebody underneath your tail, lighting a fire for you. And maybe it'll push him Malik Willis, because what I saw this year from Malik, he got many years to go before he's ready. I think mentally and even just developing of seeing how the pro is completely different than the college. There's windows he don't see. There's just a lot of things with him, but I would like to see Tannehill. I really like as attractive it is. I don't want to see us go get Brady. I don't want to see us go get Rodgers. We don't have nothing to surround them with. So even if we had those type of quarterbacks, there's nothing we have there to help set them up for success. And they're only going to be double what we're paying for Tannehill. So why go and do that and just stick with Tannehill and then try to build some stuff around him? So I'm hoping we stay with Tannehill. We don't go and do something crazy. And I want us to start building some weapons around him, because Tannehill ain't had a receiver core with him that's lasted longer than 2 years. Like, he has no repetition with any receiver on the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with Firestone, man. I mean, Ryan Tannehill, throughout his time here, he's been a good quarterback. I mean, he's been efficient for the most part. I mean, everything that we wanted in Marcus as far as holding the players accountable, Tannehill has done that. And the only way I would want Ryan Tannehill to leave is if we make a upgrade at quarterback, in which if we making the upgrade at quarterback, let's keep it real. You're going after an elite quarterback, and the only elite quarterback that's available is Aaron Rodgers, in which I ain't with paying that man $50 million a season. I mean,
for him to look at himself in the mirror.
Right. I mean, you see all this every season with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he just constantly just doing and saying the most. And I'm like, man, dude, you need to just chill out and play. And, you know, last season I was open to Aaron Rodgers, you know, coming to the Titans. But this season right here, after he done took all that money or whatever, I mean, get your money most definitely. Because, I mean, shoot, you playing the most important position in football and you're an elite player at that position, get your money. But at the same time, too, bro, you at the point where the only thing that matters is Super Bowl. So you taking $50 million and, you know, pretty much putting your team in a position to where they can't sign any free agents. I mean, that right there is the reason Green Bay was in the same position we were in. And for us to take on Aaron Rodgers, I mean, we'll pretty much, you know, be taking on Green Bay's problems. I mean, we wouldn't be able to make the upgrades that we need to make amongst the offensive line, the wide receiver core. Gonna need some help at cornerbacks as well, linebacker situation. I mean, we wouldn't be able to fix any of that stuff paying that man $50 million. So that's why I say it's better to keep Tannehill, let him ride out that contract. I mean, if you gotta, you know, extend them out, find a way to, you know, lower the cap hit or whatever, do that. But if it ain't upgrading or whatever, and if it doesn't make sense paper-wise, keep Tannehill.
Yeah. Yep. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. We need to, I think the best thing to do right now is to keep Ryan Tannehill, and then we're gonna have to get some protection for him, man. He can't be getting sacked like this, man. Like, we can't have Dennis Daly, who's getting ran over every other play and missing blocks and getting Tannehill killed, man. That's why he got hurt this season. But I will say, Ryan Tannehill, if you are on this podcast and you listening to me, when we get in these playoffs, bro, you have to step up. Like, dude, like these 100-yard passing games that you're having in the playoff, we haven't won a playoff game because of you. You get what I'm saying? We haven't won one playoff game. All the playoff games that we won is because Derrick Henry ran completely bonkers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like you, Ryan Tannehill. You put your heart and soul into the Tennessee Titans, but come playoff time, dude, you got to step up. Like, we need you.
So, all right, I'm gonna agree with all of you on, you know, especially like with what Firestone said about. I think we should keep him too, but I will say I don't put as much on the playoff situation as you did, RJ, just because the Baltimore game. Henry did go off, but I mean, Tannehill had the great pass to, was it?
It's talking about to Khalif Raymond.
Yeah.
Raymond. Johnny made one hell of a catch, which that's one person I don't know why the hell we got rid of. But I think we should keep, and the whole issue, like he was hitting on, the reason why we're at where we're at right now and the reason J-Rob probably got let go, it's all comes down to that salary cap. That's all it comes down to right now. And unfortunately, I don't like this Brady and Rodgers talk like Firestone was saying, because that's great. I know they're good, but they're not Michael Jordan in the aspect of they're not going to make Cody Hollister a Pro Bowl wide receiver. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest.
We got to get better around Tannehill.
Yep.
And, you know, you keep hearing all these people talk about, like, are we going to be in a rebuild? I don't think we're there. I think Titans fans need to calm the hell down with that. And I think we're quick to jump to that. I think we can do it. Somebody called in today. I was listening on the radio on the way to work, and they were talking about how we can do it piece by piece. Like, are we going to win a Super Bowl next year? No, we're not. I don't think we are. And I hate to be negative, but let's just be honest. all Titans fans, we know how it goes.
Right.
And I think that if we just take it a couple years, maybe, we can get back there. But I don't mean to be a downer, but until we get the salary cap figured out, man, I don't know how much change is going to happen, to be honest.
Well, from what I heard, Amy was willing to restructure some of the contracts where
They're gonna have to.
she handles and pays that. So that's what I was told. She told Shannon that, and that's something else I was kind of told, that like J-Rob was kind of using that as a negotiation tactics to try to get hometown prices on some of these contracts, to be like, hey, we don't really have the money, you're worth it, but bear with us, we just don't really have the money. When then we look back and they're like, you could have gave AJ 20 and you could have signed Jeff Simmons for what he was worth. So how much of the salary was really an issue for us if Amy said you could sign AJ for 20 and sign Big Jeff?
Yeah. And for the people in the comments, we see your comments. Just keep commenting. We're going to get there eventually. We promise.
Yeah.
We promise.
Yeah. The whole, when Christian Kirk got signed, the number that he got,
Yeah, that messed everybody up.
Why? It really did. Because why? Which, he is good, but he's not AJ.
No.
And that's where I think the J-Rob situation, like y'all were saying, when are we going to sign these people that come in as rookies and do good for us to a second contract, and we don't? It's like,
yeah, we most definitely need to we need to find another wide receiver to complement Burks, because Burks is getting double teamed, and he got safeties over the top of him. Like, dude, he need somebody to at least get some of the eyes off of him, man. Like,
I think the correct offensive coordinator, we've got to figure out ways to get him the ball like we did AJ. And unfortunately, I'll just go ahead and get into this, is right now with Derrick Henry, and I'm going to kind of go off topic and pose a question to y'all and all the people that are commenting, because I don't really know the answer to this, but I'm curious. Derrick Henry is an anomaly in the NFL, in the history of the NFL, if I want to be honest, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's so good, you have to give him the ball, right? Okay. But it's 2023. It's a passing league now. So I'm looking at it going, I'm not saying we should get rid of Henry. I know everybody's going to freak out because I'm talking like this. I'm actually just posing a question to you guys. We try to force feed him so much in a league that doesn't play the style that we can play because he is so good. Does this make sense what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Like, you can't not feed him the ball because he's as good as he is, but it's a passing league. So you look at it.
We should take down his carries a little bit. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's kind of like,
I don't know. Like, I don't want to say the word, but I don't know what we should do. But we just something has to change.
I think we need to get, like I said, I think if we had a burner, somebody that's gonna, if you come down here and try to play and try to stop Derrick Henry, we're gonna take the top off of you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what we're missing, because it would keep those safeties at bay at all times, so we can run Henry, plus a better offensive line too. So
now, we also talked about on this podcast, and I proposed this one too a little bit, is that if we went shotgun and went split back, what if you have Henry in one and you have Hillard on the other side? You can run with Henry. You can play action with Henry. So you also have a back that can run, but you also have your receiving back on the field at the same time too. So you have to keep that defensive guessing, because they know when Hillard comes in, most likely we're going to throw him the ball. He's more our receiving back. But if you can get plays and schemes set up where Henry and Hillard's on the field at the same time, I believe that'll open up so much for us. And then just let Tannehill have the option to go, yeah, this is the play. But if you get out there and you see this defense, check to this, and then that's how we're going to run. That would be very helpful, I think, for that situation, if we could start running stuff like that.
If we're going to keep Henry, which I'm not, and actually I'm looking at these comments right now, and people are agreeing with what I'm saying, which is kind of funny. But if we're going to keep him, we got to figure out to use him the right way. But unfortunately, unless we have one hell of a star wide receiver, because of his talent, you have to give him the ball, if you see what I'm saying. So it's like, he's almost like I don't want to use the word detriment to our team, because he's definitely not. He's not. Calm down. But I'm just saying he's not. But what I'm trying to say is, if we don't have somebody out there where they're like, oh shit, we might have to slide this safety. Let's shade him with this linebacker to this side a little bit. They're going to load the box up, and what are we going to do? Just give it to him 40 times and hope that it works out, which has happened, but it's not going to happen in the playoffs against the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Okay,
I
long
think-
story short, this team, in order for them to evolve, they're going to have to pass the ball. They're going to have to get some receivers in here that can actually do their job, not just straight up block. They're going to have to become less dependent on Derrick Henry.
Yes.
And let me say this as well. Derrick Henry is not a selfish player. He doesn't give a damn about his stats. He gives a damn about winning football games. He gives a damn about contributing to those wins. So as long as Derrick Henry feels like he's putting in the work for wins and we're winning football games, he's not going to trip about stats or whatever.
Yep.
So
Well,
they
this
need
also.
to
Oh no, finish it.
go.
No,
Yeah,
finish
go
off.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say this goes into my next topic of if we're gonna become a passing team, who's gonna be the offensive coordinator? You know, well, what is that? Who would you like to see an offensive coordinator? How about that?
I want Leftwich. That's what I want to see. I think that'd be a new face to bring in. He has kind of the vision of where the NFL is going, but also he has a scheme to where he could get Henry involved too, but not like we all know, like running the ball opens up the passing game. So like we got to feed Henry and run the offense through Henry, but we can't force feed the offense through Henry as so much where like we keep been doing these past couple of years. It's cool to have Henry run the ball, but we can't be reliant that we're running the ball so much. They know what we're doing every single down because, well, it's just down to Henry. But if I believe he can get in there and find us a good balance between plays and use the personnel we have around us and open things up and get us in the right direction. Cause we got to get away from, like we said, like this smash mouth constant football. We got to evolve with the NFL.
Yes. For
Yeah,
sure.
most definitely. I think the person that I think that we're gonna hire is Matt Nagy because like for what I've been reading on Twitter, it seemed like Matt Nagy might be the guy because Bray was very, very intriguing at what the Kansas City Chiefs are doing, and that shows that he wants to evolve a little bit. But I mean, we're still gonna be a aggressive football team. Maybe we're looking at somebody from the 49ers. I mean, it seems like we're just trying to emulate what the 49ers are doing. I wouldn't be surprised at that.
Could be. He did turn us down. Maybe they're waiting to see if they get knocked out to get another interview with him.
Yeah, I think that like I said, I think that the Titans are going to try to hire the offensive coordinator once the Super Bowl is over with. I feel like it's going to be somebody. It's either a team that's in the Super Bowl, or a team in this Final Four right now. It's going to be one of our we're going to have something for our offensive coordinator. So we'll see. What are y'all thinking?
Yeah, so Leftwich, I wouldn't be mad at.
Mm-hmm.
What you were just talking about with Nagy, I could definitely see that. And then you kind of were talking about the 49ers. I'm sure y'all have heard a lot of the times they're like, well, the 49ers run a similar offense as the Titans and it works. Well, here's the difference. And y'all know what I'm going to say. You've got, how do you say his name?
Brandon Ayuk.
You've got Ayuk, you've got Debo and McCaffrey. You don't just have
Kittle.
And Kittle, yeah.
and yeah, and you have 4 killers out there. Like, and McCaffrey is McCaffrey. You don't just have McCaffrey. So, but at the same time, they still throw more than we do. So it's just,
yeah. Well, I mean, Rand's supposed to found Kittle. He was supposed to be on that search with Debo as well, finding those in the later rounds. So maybe we got the guy that can start bringing us some talent like that around this time.
I think so, and I hope.
Like I think the first thing we do in that first round is definitely go left tackle, and then rest needs to just be offensive weapons, dude. Like maybe we'll find a corner in there. Maybe we gotta have to find another pass rusher to replace Bud Dupree because we finna let him go.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to find a pass rusher to replace Bud Dupree. Maybe we can find it in free agency, something like that. But we do need another corner. Like we can't be giving up 32nd ranked pass defense, man. Like it's not good.
Yeah, no. Need some corners with some speed and some reach.
Mm-hmm.
And that can just cover. Like, I don't understand if you watch the Titans play for the past, I don't know, for a lot of years, why do we have these cornerbacks? And I don't know if it's, I know our defense is normally pretty good, but it's we all know we struggle in the past, pass defense. Why are we giving them so much cushion?
Yeah.
If I'm sure there's a stat out there, I could find it. How many just like high school 10-yard curl plays we give up? It's insane. Like something's got to happen in that DB.
It's almost like Vrabel is like he tried to make the team beat themselves. Like it's like I'm watching it. I'm like why? Like it seems like every first and 10 the cornerback beat at the first down line. I'll be like, why they keep doing that? And then I thought about it. I said maybe he's trying to get them to not take the chunk play. You get what I'm saying? Like he's trying to make them like
we're like the worst though at that. We give up the most chunk plays. So it's like
they try to play a bend but don't break defense.
Yeah, that's what they mean. Because when they get to that 40-yard line, their defense changes. Have y'all noticed that? Like it seems like when the drive start, he got the cornerbacks playing back. But when we get to the 30, it's like they blitzing, they all doing all type.
Bend but don't break. They'll let you get all the yards, and they used to. They probably still do this in New England, but when New England was on top or whatever, I mean, they were playing a bend but don't break defense. I mean, they would let you get all the yards, but when you got up there to the goal line, it was straight business. I mean, it wasn't none of that. It was either they was finna get a turnover, or at most the other team was kicking a field goal. And
the Washington game is a perfect example.
Yeah, that's what Vrabel tries to do with this defense. But we just don't have, the players for that. I mean, we got a good defensive line. I mean, we got good linebackers, but those cornerbacks, man. I mean,
that secondary guy get addressed.
Yeah,
I like that. Like I said, I like that pickup that we got from the Commanders. Chris Harris. I think he's gonna do a good job here, and I feel like that's the guy. I mean, he's probably not going to be here long because, I mean, if he does a good job, he's going to be a defensive coordinator somewhere. People have been looking at him.
Yeah, because those cornerbacks in Washington did really well this year.
Yeah. I'm hoping he can come and do that for us too, because it seemed that. So I have a question for y'all. Do y'all think we play with so much cushion and play our DBs the way we do because Vrabel doesn't have faith in some of their abilities? So he's trying to at least set them up for some type of success because he knows if he tells them go stick like rice that they're going to get burnt. Like, do you think that's possibly a problem too?
Think all year, I was thinking about this. I felt more comfortable on stopping them on third down if it was 3rd and 2 than I did on 3rd and 10.
True. Wow. That's true.
I know how that feels.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like when it was like 3rd and 13, I'm like, here.
Yeah, we really missed
3rd and 2 though
this year, man. Right. Like he was a big part of our pass rush. Harold Landry, man. We definitely needed him this season, and him getting hurt that hurt our pass rush a lot. And, I mean, the only time we could get pressure is up the middle. Like we wasn't getting anything from the outsides. Like Bud Dupree might make a play every now and then, but he gotta have a premier pass rusher next to him for him to work. So y'all want to go and get into the comments or
yeah, sure.
Yeah,
let's do it.
All right. He said, "What's up, fellas? What's up, D?
What's going on, D?"
Yeah, let's see.
And y'all make sure if y'all got any questions for Tyler, y'all make sure y'all ask them up as well.
Yeah, ask away.
Also, while we looking at some of these comments, man, how y'all feel about Ran Carthon, man? You think he's a guy for the job, or what do you?
I do. I love him already. I can't wait to meet him.
Yeah, Ran, I believe he's gonna be cool, man. I mean, he ain't coming in here trying to turn things completely over here. I mean, he's doing what any new person should do in a new environment. I mean, come in there. Take your time, get to learn the people, get to learn the systems that's in place, and tweak whatever needs to be tweaked or whatever. But don't try to do too much at one time. And I think that is what Ran is going to try to do.
Yeah. Hey, Morocco, somebody say your jersey look nice, man.
Yeah.
Dude, appreciate it, man.
That's what the 97 Titan jersey.
Yeah, that was nice, man.
It's nice.
See, I've been a fan since the Oiler days, so I remember them.
Yeah, we need corner. That corner is very small. Yep. Hey, yeah, if you in the chat, man, comment how you feel about Ran. Oh yeah, that press conference he did, man. I mean, he killed it, man. Like From basically explaining like, man, this is gonna. He said, I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to make the team that Mike Vrabel wants, and it seems like we're all in the vision of Mike Vrabel, and I think that it's gonna help us all get in the, you know what I'm saying, the straight line, the straight and narrow to get to this Super Bowl. Because I know Vrabel knows how to get there. It's just a matter of, can he get the right players? And I think J-Rod was kind of just doing things on his own. He wanted to make his own team while Vrabel wanted his own team. And that's not
yeah, he had his own vision as opposed to having, you know, a common vision with everybody.
Yeah. And I think a lot of fans are reading into what he said about Tannehill when he was like, oh, we're going to have to evaluate this and that. But like they asked him that question. And if he would have said, yeah, Tannehill's this or yeah, Tannehill is not that, he would have contradicted everything he said in that press conference where he said, I am going to speak and work with Vrabel. You was asking him for a direct question when you know him and Vrabel hasn't talked about that. That's the right question. I need to evaluate with Vrabel, which is what my job is here to do now, is to talk to him first. So I think a lot of people need to chill on that. I don't think that means he's trading Tannehill. I just think that means he's doing what he said he's going to do, which is talk with Vrabel before any decision gets made.
Right. And you got to think about the draft too. I mean, the draft is coming up. I mean, if he sitting up over here telling you that, you know, yeah, Tannehill's our guy, or no, Tannehill isn't our guy. I mean, that's tilting his hand in the draft or whatever. So this time of year, I mean, these GMs, I mean, they gonna say less. So I mean, definitely don't buy into anything any GM is saying, because you know they know who they want, but they're not gonna let it be known until it's time to let it be known.
The draft. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I like his eye for talent. I think he is a very good talent evaluator. You can see it with the 49ers. And if you look some of that, the lower round draft picks, the people that he picked in those lower rounds, they're starting right now. You know what I'm saying? They're dependent on those guys. Like, there was George Kittle on there, Elijah Mitchell. There was Drake Greenlaw. There was Kurt. What's the other linebacker that's there with him? Fred Warner was in that. And it was Brock Purdy. You know, I'm like, Brock Purdy, that was a gem. You know what I'm saying? I wish we had Brock Purdy on this team.
Did y'all see his scouting report in the draft?
You talking about with Nick Saban?
But have you seen like the transcript to it?
No,
dude, it was like it was so bad. Like, it was like he's okay. Like, and now he's out there. I mean, if he wins a Super Bowl, it's gonna be funny.
Yeah, man, I always tell people, like, they act like you got to have an elite quarterback to win a Super Bowl, and you don't. It makes it easy. It makes it easier. It definitely does, but you don't.
It increases your chances.
Yeah, we just saw Stafford win a Super Bowl. We see Brock Purdy doing what he's doing in the playoffs. You don't need to have it, but if you're not going to have an elite quarterback, then you better at least have some damn good talent around them to be able to make up for that.
Boils down to
because the New England wasn't who they were back in the days. My bad.
No, you good.
Yeah, New England wasn't who they were until they started winning Super Bowls. The Mike Vrabel wasn't who he was. Willie McGinnis wasn't who he was. Teddy wasn't who he was until they started winning Super Bowls.
Oh yeah, what's up, Spider Titan? Yeah, we're gonna get you on the show next week.
Yo, Spider Titan, what's happening with you, fella?
Hey, what's up, brother? Hey, we liked you when you came out, man. We were all talking about. We knew you were gonna milk it when you ran out as a 12th Titan.
Spider Titan. But yeah,
we were in the booth going, stab it, and he was out there. we had our headsets on, and we were all going like, no, we got to go. Come on, stab it. And I look over at my producer, and he goes, I knew he was going to milk it.
Oh man, yeah, Spider Type. We can't wait to have you on the show tomorrow, man. You gonna tell us the whole experience, man. It's gonna be good. Back to what I was saying. I said, if we look at the top 4 teams that finished that's about to compete for the Super Bowl, just look at them, man. One of them has an elite quarterback and a couple other weapons around him. Joe Burrow, I mean, we can consider him elite, but Joe Burrow has elite weapons around him, man. He has Joe Mixon, he has P. he has Jamar Chase, he has T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Hayden Hurst. Like, the board is stacked around him, man. He can move. You look at the Eagles, man. A.J. Brown. You got Devontae Smith. You have
Goddard.
Goddard. You got those 3 running backs that are going hard, man. You got an elite offensive line, man. Like, look at the 49ers. We've already even talked about them. They look at their defense. You know what I'm saying? Look at the look at the Debo Samuel. You got Brandon Ayuk, the George
Another
Kittle.
good offensive line.
Yeah, great offensive line, man. Like that's how you got to build your team to get to the Super Bowl. And J-Rob, I don't understand why he would trade AJ Brown. Like that was dumb. Man, you do it. You got to cut the right people, man, to go keep AJ Brown, man. You pay that man what he wants.
Yeah, it just doesn't make no sense.
Yeah, and kind of like Firestone was saying a second ago, talking about Purdy, you know, in all of that situation. Y'all remember years and years ago, and this is an NBA analogy, but you remember the Detroit Pistons when they beat the Lakers and swept them in the championship 4-0?
Yeah.
If you look at that team, they didn't have any, I mean, true like huge superstars. Like, and I think that's kind of how the Titans are right now. Is with what we have, like we can be good and we're gonna have if not a winning record, at least a decent season. We just got to figure out, we have to have people that are going to fit our style of play. So when it comes to the draft, my question is, people ask me all the time, they're like, so what position, like, where are we going to go? And I'm like, honestly, it comes down to, I think, who the offensive coordinator is, and are we going to change our style of play? If we're not, if we're going to do the same Titan shit that we've been doing, we're going to draft it this way. If we're going to change it, then I think our first round pick will be different. Does that kind of make sense? Like what I'm saying? It kind of almost depends on what this offensive coordinator do. For me, in my head, I'm like wide receiver, but then I'm also like our O-line. So, I mean, what do we, what do we do? You know, I mean, I think
go ahead.
No, that's it. No, go ahead.
I think the O-line's easier to address than free agency, where there's not that many great wide receiver free agents coming up, where there's a lot of possibilities to fix the O-line and free agency. So I'm kind of with you. I think first round wide receiver or some type of offensive skill player talent for us. So that, I mean, we ain't gonna go running back. So maybe another tight end to go behind Chig, but more or less so I think a wide receiver, and then try to get that offensive line fixed in free agency. But I got to do some scouting on the offensive line too. I haven't really seen too many in colleges to see if they're really worth that 11th pick over, because like we need some real talent on this team. Yeah, like it's easy to find people to fit into an offensive line and do their job for a year or two. It's not easy to find skilled players that we need on the outside as bad as we do.
I hate to say it, even though I want a wide receiver bad, we got to go left tackle, man, in that first round. I know I'll be making jokes about let's go get Bryce Young.
That ain't no joke.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Next year, I would not be mad if we went out after Jordan Travis out of Florida State.
Man, I like him too, man.
I think next year's going to be easier for us to get a QB than this year.
I do too.
There's a lot of good quarterbacks next year.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when you were talking about the free agents, dude, if you were talking about like there's not a huge pool this year in wide receiver. Yeah, because the pool this year for free agents, have you seen the list? It's all quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
Like decent names too, but the thing with being the Titans is we're such a team where it has to be the right fit. And you can say, well, yeah, every team in the NFL needs a quarterback with the right fit. I don't believe in that, because the way we play such a style of football that like it truly matters, you know. You know, y'all play Madden on Xbox. Okay. You know, you do like franchise mode.
Yeah.
You know, when you do the draft after a season and it's like it'll say like scheme like goes with the team that you play for.
Yeah.
That's what the Titans are. Like somebody might be a B+ and then somebody might be an A-, but I'm going to take the B+ because he's going to develop better and fit our scheme more. It all comes down to how we're going to play next
year. If you think about it, man, a team that's been struggling with that is the Dallas Cowboys. Like they get talented players, man, but
they got all the talent.
Dude, I'm coming down to coaching.
Talent, but they don't fit that what they do. Yeah. You know,
that's all on Dak, bro. That's all on Dak. Dak is exactly the quarterback you don't want, because he puts them in losing situations. In games they shouldn't lose, Dak puts them in losing situations. So a lot of those games go on him because he puts them in bad situations. Just go out there and don't lose the game. That's all you really truly ask from a quarterback. And Dak goes out there and loses a lot of games for them Cowboys.
But
that defense plays good.
But then again, too, I mean, do you feel like they asking Dak to do too much? Because, I mean, do you want – you know what Dak is. So do you want your quarterback going out there throwing all those passes?
I think he's overrated. I'm just gonna say it.
Yes.
Let's just break the ice. I think he's overrated.
Yeah.
If you look at all his picks, so when Byard got 2 on him, if you look at him, all of his picks this year, and I only know this because the guy that sits next to me goes out and scouts these teams before we play them. And he explained to me, he said his interceptions, watch, they're all going to be right on the numbers. And if you watch the game, no, seriously, right on the hashes. Every interception he throws, and I went and looked it up online, all on the hashes. Like, I just think he's overrated, man. I really do. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, he's got CeeDee Lamb is a fucking beast. Like,
yeah.
Hey, here you go, bro.
There's so many routes.
Dang it, Trey.
There's so many routes he missed and wide open wide receivers that he should see that he just doesn't make. So it's not asking too much. Like, he just doesn't make the reads sometimes. That's why Cole Beasley left. He's like, I'm open a lot of times, and Dak just doesn't throw me the ball.
Dak doesn't have it here. He probably needs to see a sports psychologist or something.
Yeah, with Dak, like one thing. So this is what I was trying to explain to my friend that's a Cowboys fan, and I was telling him, I said, look, when Dak got hurt and they put Cooper Rush in, they literally changed the whole game plan, and it was working. Like, he was looking like Brock Purdy out there, and I'm like, I said, why come they don't play like that with Dak? Like, when Dak go out there, they try to go out there and do some Patrick Mahomes type offense, and I'll be like, what? I'm like, why does he do that? And I'll be explaining that to the Cowboys fan. I'll be like, if you guys play like y'all did with Cooper Rush out there with Dak, you guys will win way more games, man. I'm telling you, y'all will go to the Super Bowl probably. But, it's the Cowboys. It's the same thing every year, man. They hype them up to the max, show them on every primetime game that they get put out the playoffs.
It's literally like, would you rather be a Titans fan or a Cowboys fan?
I'd rather be a Titans fan.
We
ain't won a Super Bowl.
Exactly. It's probably about even right now. But, hey, man. What y'all think about that last play of the game for the Cowboys, though? Because I saw that, and I was like, man, what is Dallas doing, man?
I want to know I want to know
our games are hidden. That's all I'm saying. People don't sit there and look forward to Titans. They look to unless you live outside of live in Tennessee. Outside of Tennessee, nobody be looking for the Titans fans. You know what I'm saying? Cowboys, they can't lose a game. You know what I'm saying?
As soon as I saw Zeke under center, I said, "Oh shit."
Hey, they zoomed in on Zeke too, and even Zeke was looking like, man.
It's like,
Zeke got blown up, man.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it is Jerry Jones, man. They said Dak is trash. The real Cowboy problem is and will always be Jerry. Yeah, man. Yeah. Jerry, he's a great talent evaluator. He's a great talent evaluator, but man, it's something he doing, man. Like, he got his hand too much in the pot, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's doing too much in that organization. He's holding them back every single time.
He's 95, dude. Just go lay in the bed, man. Like, he needs to stop.
He needs to just be the owner, man. He don't know how to just be the owner. Like,
man, he lets personal relationships get involved too much. That's his biggest issue. Just because he likes a guy or they got a personal relationship, he will still try to keep that guy around. Look at Tony Romo. He kept him around because they had a personal relationship, and that's
Todd Downing and Mike Vrabel.
No, I have a theory on that. All right, and I'm gonna throw this to you and let you see what you feel.
Okay.
With Vrabel before Todd Downing, every offensive coordinator he hired left after a year, right? So do you think that he went and got Todd Downing, was like, he's not the best, but maybe I can coach him up, tweak him, get him a little bit better, and he will stick around? You know, after like the guy that's been dating 10s all his life and they keep leaving after a year. You go for that 6 or that 7. You go for that 6 or 7, right? Hoping that, maybe they'll stick around. And then he's like, that was just a bad decision anyway. So that's what I kind of feel like. I feel like he was getting so mad at people leaving. He settled for somebody thinking that they might stick around and develop, and he didn't.
Yeah.
Man, Todd Downing was probably the worst Titans offensive coordinator ever. Like, I'm going
to tell you right now.
Titans offensive coordinator better than him.
The worst, like when this is true, I would be up there in the booth. As soon as I would see a formation and I would, when he would like send Malik in and I was like, he's about to try some cute shit. This is not going to be good. When Todd Downing tried to get cute, like we're not playing jackpot in the backyard. Like, and what was this when Traylon, the play? Dude, what?
I don't know.
RJ, hey, we did that
I don't
stuff.
know.
We did that stuff in weights class and at Independence, man. Come on, like we'd be like, we don't want to play weights. We're gonna go play 2-on-2, pick up football in the gym.
Yeah.
Like you can't do that in the NFL.
Part of that
Man.
was Trey, and part of that was Downing.
Yeah, Todd Downing has not football common sense. Dude is clueless, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, he's terrible, dude. Like, have you noticed that nobody's picked him up? You know what I'm saying? Nobody was wrestling your Todd Downing. Nobody picked him up.
Nobody wants the dude that calls cute shit and drinks too much and then doesn't take a lift. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That dude, man. And he
Man,
got a
he
DUI.
probably going back to be a tight ends coach.
Man,
He'll
that
be a
dude,
lifetime tight end coach.
Skill position coach. Yeah.
yeah, that man going back to the elementary school he was
He
teaching.
just, you know what he
What
would,
the heck
you know
was
what he needs to do is just open up a bar in Nashville. He'd kill it.
Oh yeah. Hey man, he needs to be packing groceries at Kroger, man. I always wrong.
We're doing that man dirty, man. Come on.
You know what he need to do, man? Him and Dennis Daly, man. He need to start a podcast or something, bro. So I'll dedefinitely watch this. I get.
Hey, did we talk about
Yeah,
Dennis
you can
Daly
call-
though and
Let's talk.
DM?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
He out here trying to strip ass for $300.
bro. If Downing and Daly got a podcast, I would listen to that, man.
Absolutely. It'd be like, hey man, what'd
Call
you do
it-
this weekend? It's like, I want some ass, man.
Bro, they can call it
my
Down Daily.
goodness. Him and Dennis Daly, man. Hey, you can add. They'll probably have special guest Tony Robisky in there, man.
That's good.
Honorary host.
Oh, man. Goodness gracious, man. We done had some. I'm telling you, man. We done been through hell and back with these damn Titans, dude. I swear.
I'm telling you.
They said, man, as soon as I saw Henry line up at X receiver, I knew it was over. Yeah, they had this man running AJ Brown routes. Like I'm looking like what at Derrick Henry.
Man, Todd Downing, the only person I know that wore out Derrick Henry Wildcat. You remember when we first saw the Derrick Henry Wildcat? I mean, I think it was against the Texans, and man, everybody fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And these
that's
couple of
the-
seasons with Downing, I mean,
The King Cat.
yeah, every
That's
time
the game
I see
AJ
that, like,
had that
we go.
angry ass run where he just like bulldozed everybody,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Or was
yeah,
that
talking about against the Ravens?
Ravens,
Oh.
that and then Henry broke it to win it. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that was a good game, man. I didn't know we were gonna win that one, man. We came back and got that one.
But
Said,
y'all
no,
ever do y'all ever sit there and think like, are we trying to make these games like to give all these fans a heart attack sometimes?
I be thinking that for real. I be.
It don't
sitting
matter
there
who
watching
we
every
bring.
Titan game. Like
That's-
man, they just have to make everything freaking dramatic. Like
Yeah, man.
the simplest shit, they try to make it dramatic as they could possibly make it.
The Colts game this year when we were at their place,
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I can just chill. I'm gonna get the grill ready, and then all of a sudden we let them. We don't. Our second half issues early on in the season, especially,
Mhm.
that was rough this year.
Yeah, we blew so many leads, but we didn't win. We didn't lose the game. We would just blow the lead. Like the Raiders game, both of the Colts games, we were terrible in the second half.
Yeah,
And, I can't remember.
Giants
The
game,
Washington
which we
football
ended up
team was
losing.
trash too. Like, yeah.
Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos game. We didn't do
Okay.
nothing in the second. Well, no, actually, I think we did do. We didn't do nothing in the
Hey,
first half. That's
I
what it
will
was.
say this about the Bronco game. I was in the booth and I was walking down the tunnel and I saw Sierra in person
Oh man.
and almost passed out. Hey, that woman is beautiful, y'all.
Hey,
Bro,
man,
that
Russ
ride
got it
video
made.
Hey,
still does things.
She
for
was
me.
so beautiful. I texted my wife and said, babe, I just passed Sierra.
Oh man. I didn't know she was at the game, man. That's crazy. You know,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
She goes
She
every
on the
every
field
game.
or is
Oh,
she like
yeah. She travels. Yup.
yeah, she probably was in a booth or something, man. I don't know. You know that.
No, she was on the field right before the game as they were warming up.
No, okay. Man, so what y'all think Russ gonna do in Denver, man? You think they stuck with him, man? They paid that man before he played a game.
I think they're gonna be singing NSYNC's "Bye Bye Bye" pretty soon, man. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I can't believe it. And he didn't play a game, and they paid him like 5 year, like $100-some million, man. I don't know at the top of my head, but like
banking it off them
I don't
Seattle
know. I
years,
got a
bro.
funny feeling that Russ gonna have a comeback year next season. I don't
Here's
know
the
why,
thing, though.
but
He
I just
has
feel like
receivers.
yeah,
He
what I'm
has
saying.
receivers, man. Like, shit, I will take their receiving core over ours right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sutton,
in a
Jerry
minute.
Judy, hell yeah.
I think our receiver core gonna get better at this offseason, man. There's just no way that we're just going with this receiving core, man.
It's
Speaking
got
of that,
to.
Phillips.
Yeah, we've already
What
had this
about him?
discussion, man. He's
I
too
know,
small.
but
Oh.
I watched it. But I'm just saying, that was a mystery this year. I don't really know what happened, but I mean, he did really well that first game, and I think if we would have had him, we would have been better. But anyway,
I mean, we had him. What was that one game? He had like 2 punt return fumbles.
yeah.
Like he did good that first game, but everything started slowly going downhill. And what we've talked on here a lot is like RJ
Yeah,
says
I
a lot.
listened to it,
He's
yeah.
tiny.
He is little. I'm scrawny. He's about my size.
Yeah, bro, he's about my size, and I'm not that big of a dude. I'm 5'9", 170. So
How
like,
tall
Yeah.
is Kyle? Like 5'10", is he?
5'10", I think 180, 182
Yeah,
maybe.
man. He scares me when he plays football, man. It's like I just look at him, and every time he gets hit, it just seems like that's gonna be the one to take him out.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
crazy. You just said he scares you when he plays football. That is not a good thing.
That's what I'm saying.
He didn't even elaborate. He was just like, "Hey, man, he just scares me because he plays football."
Yeah, I mean, I gotta
He's too
keep it
small,
real. I mean,
man.
it's some players that you look at and be like, man, this dude
Mo-
right here, he ain't
hey.
gonna be able to take one of the blind
I'm gonna be honest with you.
catching them in traffic.
That's how it was with Malik all season. Every time he touches, get back there with the ball. He did. Watch me. Oh, shit. Like, I'm sorry. I don't think he's
No.
like you said earlier. You were like,
I'm
he's gonna
praying he
take
is, but I
years
don't
and years
know.
to develop.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna get there, man.
I don't
You
either.
want him to because of what his legs and his athletics
And
has.
he's such a good guy. Like he's so
Yes.
nice.
But when it comes down
Positive.
to having that QB and that mental and reading and understanding and develop and throwing, like he just doesn't have it. The presence in the pocket, all that. It's just, I just
Yeah,
just
I
don't see
don't see it, man. We're gonna see because I mean he been putting in work this offseason, but
I'm rooting
right
for
now,
him.
I don't know.
I'm gonna
I
tell
don't
you
know.
who our backup is 100% is Dobbs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And honestly, and I said this in the middle of the Jags game, I texted my buddy because I have a group text with a bunch of Titans people, and I just straight up said, I was like, y'all are gonna call me crazy, but if we did let go of Tannehill, I'm gonna be honest, I would not be pissed at least for a year if we rode with Dobbs. I know that's crazy to say, but I mean, when I watched him throw the ball in warmups, like on the field, like when I was close to him, that dude can sling it, believe it or not. I mean, he can sling it. Like, and like watching Malik throw it and then him throw it, it was like night and day.
Yeah. And that's what I wonder with him is that, and I'm kind of with you that if Tannehill was to go, I feel comfortable with Dobbs, but there's that
At least
side
for
of
a
me,
year.
right? But there's also that side of me that comes with scouting is that you don't really know what you got until there's film on them, and then people have film to then prepare for him. So now they got film on Dobbs. We'll see how they prepare for him. And there's also that thing that lingers in the back of my head is that he was a Detroit practice squad QB. What was really wrong that he never even got onto the third string or the second string of a starting team, that he was battling for practice squad reps? Like there had to be something that stood out.
So here's what's crazy, and me and my buddies, we've all talked about this. Before he came into the draft, I don't know if y'all remember, but he's a legit like rocket scientist, actually.
Yeah.
Like legit. And I'm wondering if, I don't know if these teams, because if you watch his like preseason highlights when he was with like the Browns, dude, like he looks really good, man. Like he had a lot of moments, and I don't know, that's a stretch, but I don't know if that plays a factor into it, is because like they don't know they might question his love for the game. I don't know.
Yeah.
He is he's almost socially, he's almost awkward when you talk to him. I don't know, man. But I'm thinking the same. I have the same question that you do, Firestone, is like, why is he? I mean, he could have started for the Panthers this year. He could have started for, I could go down the list.
Right. So it's like,
He looked better than.
What did all them other teams see or didn't see to lead up to this? Because this very rarely happens that somebody's just every team, all these teams for 6 years didn't see something and somebody then shows up and they're like, oh, this been a hidden gem on everybody's practice squad.
Or is it a system thing? I don't know.
Correct.
I really don't know. I mean,
I'll tell you.
That's it.
So what y'all think about the Jacksonville Jaguars, man? You think you nervous about what they building, or is it just?
I'm terrified. You want to know why? Because I literally 2 weeks, after that last game, the other day, texted my buddy and said, "Oh shit, they have Calvin Ridley next year too."
Mhm.
That's a problem. I would take their wide receiver core over half of the wide receiver cores in the NFL right now.
Mhm.
True, but Calvin Ridley's been sitting out. Yeah.
Is he gonna stay healthy though? That's the question.
Yeah, is he in shape?
Is he not going to bet, and is he going to stay healthy?
There's a lot of questions around Ridley. Like, if he shows up what he was, then cool. But he ain't been on the field for how long now?
It really has to be to Goodell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we're gonna see though. We're gonna see what the Jazz talking about. I mean, the Jazz gonna have a first place schedule next year.
Yeah, that's true.
We're
That's
gonna
true.
see how they play, how they handle their schedule, because they're gonna have to see the Bengals.
They going back to the dumpster. They not gonna be able to perform with the target on their back like that. I mean, in these games this season, these teams,
they caught people by surprise.
Yeah, I'm gonna be straight up, man. I mean, they'll tell you that every opponent is the same to them and all of that, but come on, man. Them players is going out there looking at them like, this Jacksonville, this the Jets. They ain't talking about nothing. And Jacksonville this year, they snuck some teams. We done it the first year under Malarkey. We snuck some teams or whatever. But when that target goes on your back, you gonna have to up your play. And Trevor Lawrence didn't show me too much of anything.
I don't take him seriously, man.
Right.
He don't
think anything that says that
he be missing
he's
some
going to be
throws,
this big elite quarterback that Jags fans think he's going to be. They got some damn good weapons, and I think the defense is actually good, but I don't just see it up in Trevor Lawrence like that.
I don't think Trevor Lawrence has it in here. I don't think he has the heart. I think he is like, oh shit, this is fine. I'm really athletic and good, and I'm in the NFL. That's kind of how I view. I don't know if that's like a stretch, but I kind of feel like that with him.
He looking like another Justin Herbert.
Yeah, happy go lucky.
He's just he gonna win. He gonna be good in the regular season, put up some good numbers because he got a good receiving club. But come playoff time, he gonna fold.
Yeah, like I'll play him. I'll play him on my bye week when my starting quarterback in fantasy is out. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like Trevor Lawrence, he good. Don't get me wrong, he's good.
Yeah,
he's gonna be
in that pocket, dot people up, but he ain't gonna win the big game. He's simple that.
He's gonna be a slow progression. Like I've been watching him since like high school days, just because I was watching like the QB1 and all that shit with the Netflix.
Oh,
series.
I love that show, man. They took that shit off Netflix.
I know, I was mad, man. But it was good to see because like he does have slow progression. He doesn't always show up as the guy that wows and awes you, but he shows up and he works every single day, and that's what scares me about Trevor is that even if he's not that yet, I know that he's going to go in and put that work because I've seen him do it through that damn series. He was the last QB, and then he worked all the way up to number 1. He just showed up every day, did his job, and outworked everybody. So he has the mentality. He's not there yet, but he has that work mentality that I just think is like it can lead him to be that if he keeps pushing and if he has the right coaching staff around him.
Yeah. Hey, what is this? It says you said you were terrified, but how you don't feed sunshine.
It's probably a Jaguar fan.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, they be in here, man. The Jags, they love
man, they're
trolling
trolling.
Always.
Yeah, man. This
So,
is a weekly thing.
since we got Jaguar fans in here, I can go ahead and get on their head, man. You know, you ever heard of that one bug, man, that come out every 5 years, man? Loud and obnoxious. You know, the cicadas, man, that remind me of their fan base, don't it, man? Cause I'll call them the Jaguars. I mean, the Jacksonville
making a lot of noise and in the way. I ain't got to do nothing.
It's annoying.
I'll tell you, Jaguars Twitter came for me this week. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
I didn't even.
You can't say nothing about the Jaguars on Twitter.
I didn't even.
What did you say to them?
Hey, I posted a picture of the Titans pillows I got from a fan, and
that's cute.
These I got these from one of my followers. And I posted that shit, and they started going in there all talking shit, and just one after another. Sammy started it.
What'd you say back? You should have said Duvalde's nuts.
I'll reply back to all of them. I went back to them and I was getting stuff with them, rebuttaling. But their comebacks were so elementary. Sometimes I didn't even come back. I'm like, all right, that one's weak. Just try again, bro. I'll give you a redo. I felt like I was back in elementary trying to talk trash to them. Like their team sucked so long that they forgot how to talk real trash to other teams. Like it was horrible.
Man, they just happy to be out here right now.
Man, did you know that the Jacksonville got a losing record to every team in the division? They've never had back-to-back winning seasons. Like, dude, chill out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Chill out, man. You guys had a 9-8 season. You won a playoff game, man. Just chill out.
I told one of them, I was like, man, y'all just happy because your team finally ain't sucking like they have the past 5 years. His rebuttal was, oh, you think we've only sucked for 5 years? I was like, man, I was trying to be nice. I was just trying to give you 5.
Yeah, he said if you was terrified of the Jag, but then said Lawrence wasn't good. No, he didn't say he was. He said he was terrified of Calvin Ridley. You know what I'm saying? Like
I said Ridley, and yes, Lawrence is good. I just don't think he has the heart.
Yeah,
get out of here, man.
Man, don't pay them no mind.
Yeah, man.
They harmless.
You gotta be a Jaguar fan. He gotta be. He too offended. Like,
yeah,
I say the Jaguars are good. You know they be on the AFC South fan battle, man. They be in there talking about like the Jaguars just gonna be unstoppable in 2 years. Like, dude, like chill, man.
Act like you've been there before. We beat you 57 times before you beat us. Like, come on.
Yeah, like, dude. Yeah, this right here is what spooked me and why I was saying the big let's go get Bryce Young so nobody else will get him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, we about to have 2 brand new quarterbacks in this division, CJ Stroud and probably Bryce Young or Will Levis. Hopefully the Colts get Will Levis. I'm praying. He's trash. You know what I'm saying? I can deal with one of them.
I don't understand that whole thing. Like yeah. So I don't know if you saw the Music City Bowl, but the since he didn't play, the guy that played was that starting Summit quarterback.
I ran track with his older brother. You talking about the Wade twins?
Yeah. It was kind of cool to see him.
Yeah, it was dope, man. Like I said, I ran track with Jalen Wade, and those are his little brothers, man.
Yeah, like I told you the other night, man. Back in the day, it looked like you were running on ice, man. I will say he was fast. Days, he was super fast, man.
Yeah, I went to MTSU to run track, so
yeah. Oh, I didn't know you did that. That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
I coached Summit's basketball team for a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, Morocco, this one for you when you come back.
Oh, because they're in a private group, so I didn't know who they were.
Yeah, they're speaking from the private group. If you guys want to, that's all comment from Tennessee Titans Elite and AFC South Fan Battle. If you want to go to the Titans podcast, which I can get on here and I'll comment in here to just you guys can follow that.
Go ahead,
it'll be a lot. Your comments will show up on here. Yeah, if you don't mind commenting on it, that'd be perfect.
I'll link it for us. Continue on.
But yeah, that'll be.
Guess perfect. I misunderstood Tyler. Oh yeah, he talking about the Jags and Trevor Lawrence thing. I mean, I understood where he's coming from. I mean, overall, they got a decent roster. I mean,
they have the talent. I'm not. Right, they've got
talent. Good wide receiver, good defense, coach, or whatever. But he just don't believe in Trevor Lawrence. Just like we had those teams. We had AJ Jonnu, Corey Davis. Big Jeff. I mean, everybody on defense, but people didn't believe in Tannehill. That's pretty much what he's saying about the Jaguars.
Yes, thank you.
All right, Trevor Lawrence, he's good. He made throws. He can get out the pocket a little bit, but I don't think he's not Joe Burrow. He's not Patrick Mahomes, dude. Like, I don't think he's ever gonna get there. You know, that's a huge step. That's elite.
Yeah.
You know,
What do you guys think we would have been this year if we would have had every player that he just named? I'm
I
curious.
think we were competing for a Super Bowl. You know,
100%. I agree.
They had chemistry.
I
You
agree.
look at it,
100%.
man,
People don't
look
take
at the two
into
teams
account
that's in the
chemistry.
AFC Championship game right now. Did we not take both of them teams to the freaking wire? Like, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't that far from beating both them teams. We almost beat the Chiefs with Malik Willis. You know what I'm saying? Like, Malik Willis. You look at the Bengals
until the
man,
fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter they beat us, man.
And that's what I tell a lot of people when they try to talk about the Titans. Like, well, look what y'all did, and this and that. It's like, yeah, look what we did with what little talent. Like, all these other teams have all this great talent around them. Yeah, all these other teams have these great talent around them, and they barely beat us. Like, Patrick Mahomes had to throw 40-something times to barely beat us at the ending wire of the game. Like, so, yeah, it's tough to play us, and yeah, we're losing some of these games we shouldn't, but wait till we actually get some talent around Vrabel. We're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I'm
RJ, I'm gonna let you deal with Tesla.
Man, if you don't get your pony, boy, out of here, man.
Coach is still on the damn QB carousel. How are they talking crap?
You guys are done, man. Y'all about to hire Jeff Saturday, man.
That's their Super Bowl this year, beating the Chiefs.
Hey, you talk about
we beat the Chiefs.
You talk about just a train wreck. Is the Colts this offseason or what the Texans offseason was last year? Except this year it's the Colts. I would not want to be a Colts fan right now.
Yeah, man, they about to hire Jeff Saturday.
Yeah, I'm loving every minute of this, man.
And like, you know what sucks?
Ryan,
I'm fine
Matt
with that. Do I think he's the right man for the job for them? No, but would I have a beer with him? Absolutely. Like, he's, you know, it's like,
yeah, man.
Forget that. He's the perfect man for the job.
You said we'd have beat the Chiefs if it was for Downey's dumb tail got away from the RPO in the second half. Yeah, we started running the Tannehill offense with Malik Willis. I was like, what are we doing? Like, well, we was killing them with RPOs all game. And then the second half, we changed. We went back to the old. I don't know. I'm just glad Todd Down is gone. That's all.
Yeah, Malik. I can't
think. I think that's the biggest takeaway.
I mean, you see that back shoulder he threw the
Hooper, yeah.
Yeah, he
was throwing some shots, man. He threw them deep balls, man. It's straight to like Nick Westbrook and Keener dropping passes, Chris Conley dropping passes. I'm like, dude, y'all got to catch the ball. You said AJ made Tannehill change my mind. Man. I mean, every quarterback need to go to
Tesla up out of here, man. We need to do this with him.
Okay, I could play that game. Stephon Diggs made Josh Allen. Like, come on, man. Like, he said, well, we about to have a top QB draft, and y'all about to be stuck with Tannehill. Now y'all finna get Will Levis. Levis.
I was gonna say the way
he gonna be Matt Ryan's backup.
Bro, the way they franchise is, they gonna go get another old ass QB, either trading or in free agency.
Joe Flacco,
and then they gonna draft the kicker first round just to piss their fan base off. Go get them another Pat McAfee.
Did y'all hear about the Colts second round of head coaching interviews? They got like 7 people lined up for that thing, where every other team, they second interviews, it's like 2 or 3 people. I'm like, and what are they doing?
They said everybody that they interviewed was people that interviewed for it when they got rid of. They said it's like the same people.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they started off at what, 10 or 11?
Yeah.
They down to 7 now. I mean, shoot, what is Irsay doing up over there with this?
I can't wait to cocaine Irsay, man. He gonna be high on cocaine when he go to the combine. He gonna look at Will Levis. Oh yeah, this is my quarterback right here. He gonna trade up for.
I can't wait to this owners meeting, because that's when Irsay get in his bag.
You telling me he's gonna sit there and pull a Chicago with Mitchell Trubisky? He's gonna trade up to get number 1 just to draft Will.
Yeah, I can't wait, bro. Hey, trade 3 first-round picks to get Will Levis, man. Go ahead, trade the whole franchise away.
All love at the end of the day, man.
Yeah.
I hope they
here you go. He said, "Hey, they joke on us, but I mean Super Bowl rings y'all got. It's coming.
Oh man,
It's coming. Don't worry. It keep on ringing up them Super Bowl rings. We coming for one."
Go ahead, get them up out of here, man. We don't need the history lessons.
When was the last time y'all was in the Super Bowl?
Peyton.
Andrew Luck didn't take him though.
No.
That's what I be telling my son all the time because he's a Cowboys fan. He be trying to talk smack about my Titans and stuff. I was like, bro, at least I got to see my team in a Super Bowl. You ain't even got to see your team at a Super Bowl yet.
I mean, shit, the Colts organization's got to suck if Andrew Luck left to go shoot deer in the woods. I mean, and that's what he said. He want to go hunt. So, I mean,
Yes. Hey, man, I got to read his all tell book because a lot of people's been saying a lot of things that he's talked about that Colts organization. And I kind of want to know. So
he's got a book?
Yeah, a tell all book. He just came out with like this month, I think, or last month.
I got to buy it.
Oh, I'm going to read that.
We got
the next time I'm on, we'll do a book review.
Season troll job right there. That book alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Book review next time I'm on, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Well, the darn Colts, man. They just running joke at the AFC South, man. That's all it is, man.
Yeah.
Man. They gave everybody in division hell for so long, and that they back sorry, man. Everybody letting them have it, man. Like,
bro, sometimes it's almost a curse having an elite quarterback or a great superstar talent like that because it seems like when they leave teams, those teams go through decades of misery trying to refine that person.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the Pats about to go through it.
Yeah, they got lucky with the Favre to Rodgers, but yeah,
you know, if you looked at the final standings this year of the NFL, it wasn't a great year for like this year was definitely, it reminded me of like the year the Titans went to the Super Bowl, like way back in the day. Like you've got like 3 or 4 teams like with winning records and everybody else is just kind of like a mixture of 500s almost, you know. This season was definitely odd to me, I feel like.
I haven't seen a season like this since the Seattle days with Beastquake when they had a losing season. Yeah, when they had a losing season and still made the playoffs. Like this last time I seen a season kind of like,
and when the Panthers made the playoffs with like a 7-9 record.
Yeah, there was some boo-boo football this year, man. I'm gonna be real. It was clear and obvious the teams that was gonna be in it at the end. Like, it was clear and obvious. Like you look at it, it's literally the top 3 teams. We had a 1, a 3, a 1 and a 2. Like, come on, man. It was clear and obvious who the best teams were.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So somebody just said Andrew Luck retired because he did. Yeah,
Yes, Andrew Luck retired because he didn't want you all pressing child abuse charges. How many beans he was giving y'all?
Man,
Andrew Luck, man. I cannot believe we didn't beat that dude, bro. That was the only reason I didn't want him to retire, so we can finally beat him.
Exactly.
Now we gotta hear about this for forever.
But he got that one 11-0. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, he done that to us. I mean, shoot, we wasn't just celebrating that, you know, he had to hang it up because I mean,
we were up.
Keep it real. It's unfortunate as hell that the Colts were so inept that they couldn't protect that, man. But
I remember years ago when we had Marcus, but we jumped out. I think we were up like 24-0 at halftime, and they came back and beat us. I remember that.
It was at home. That game too.
It was at home. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's unfortunate that, you know, he had to hang it up or whatever. But at the same time, I mean, hey, we don't really just feel too sorry about the situation. You gotta protect your quarterback, and that's what the coach didn't do for Andrew Luck. Mm-hmm. Not our fault.
He said I agree. It was atrocious that we didn't get a line to protect him. Yeah, y'all didn't. That's why y'all hurt that man for life. He said, "Nah, I can't keep doing this, man. Can't do it." He said, "I know Nagy was mentioned, but Bieniemy seems like a great sleeper for offensive coordinator with us." He said he would actually run the offense. Yeah, but is Bieniemy gonna lead the Chiefs though? Like,
yeah, he wants to.
He looking for head coaching jobs.
Yeah,
I read some things. They say he's a bad interviewer or whatnot. I mean,
see, what I heard
stupid, but I feel like Bieniemy, he gonna have to be an OC somewhere and call plays somewhere in order for him to get a head coaching opportunity.
Yeah, because I heard him and Patrick don't get along too well, so that's why he's wanting to leave. But I also heard that he was wanting to be offensive coordinator. I didn't hear nothing about head coach, so I got to look back into that.
Yeah. They said we've had some bad.
I didn't hear that either. Yeah.
So Titans know a thing or two about that. Man, so okay, let me talk about John Robinson. John Robinson was not a bad GM. Like, he's just not a GM that's gonna get you to the Super Bowl. I wouldn't say he's bad. Like, he definitely had us with some competitive teams. He got us in a playoff. He didn't have I don't think he had a losing record with us. So I'm not gonna say he's a bad GM. Hopefully somebody's gonna pick him up because I like John Robinson as a person, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that he's a bad GM. So
I'll sum it up like this for J-Rob. I mean, his hits were freaking hits, and his misses were detrimental to the team, detrimental to the point where he got fired.
Yeah. He either gonna hit number net or he gonna airball. Like number net air, boom or bust players. That's what he like.
He was that GM that could get us to the glass ceiling, but he couldn't get us through it. So he got us in a better position where we kind of be so we can take that next step. But he's not the guy for us to take that next step with. He made a lot of bad decisions, but I wouldn't overall rate him as bad. That was his first GM job too, so you're gonna make some mistakes.
Nah, bad GM was what, Russ Webster. What was our GM before him?
Rustin Webster, Mike Reinfeldt, them were bad GMs.
Yeah,
J-Rob,
they wasn't trying to pay nobody.
J-Rob, he's probably going to be somebody's GM in the next year or so. I mean, he getting paid by the Titans right now, so I mean, there's no rush for him to get back into it. I mean, he sitting up literally collecting a free check, but I would expect him to be in the mix next year.
Yeah, I think he's gonna learn from his mistakes this next time, and I think he's gonna get to where he want to be. Like, he realized, man, you can't trade away no superstar player, man. When you got one, man, you pay him, dude. Like, you can't pay these average players either before you pay your superstar, and that's what was making me mad about him. Like, he was paying Amani Hooker before you even think about paying Big Jeff. Like, we paying Harold Landry before we pay AJ Brown. What is you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just some things I just didn't agree with, you know.
I think he was trying to go too overboard with the whole Patriot way thing. And I mean, even looking at the New England Patriots, I mean, they didn't pay many people, but you know,
they always paid Brady.
They paid their superstars. They paid Brady. They paid Grunt. They paid Wes Walker. They paid Julian Edelman. I mean, they paid Devin McCourty. They pay their superstars.
Yeah, and they don't miss in free agency neither. When they sign somebody for free agency, they usually come and have their best years there, and then they drop them right as they start getting to their worst years. So New England had that shit planned out perfectly.
I'm glad as a franchise we are getting away from that Patriot way, because that don't work. That don't win Super Bowls nowadays anymore. The Patriots aren't in the Super Bowl.
Everything's changing, man.
Like, them days over with, man. It worked in the beginning for a little bit, but now, man, I like the way the 49ers doing business. I like the way the Eagles doing business. I like the way not the Cowboys, but I like the way
you almost said the Cowboys.
Yeah, I like the way the Chiefs doing business, man. You know, that's how you do business nowadays. They are ahead of the game. We always got to be ahead of the curve, man. We can't be 1985, man. This ain't the Bears, man. Like,
I just hope we can get out of it, man, because I think that's our biggest thing right now. I mean, if I'm a defensive coordinator playing the Titans, you pretty much know what to expect. The only question is, are you going to stop it? You know, I mean, like, yeah, you have games this year like Henry and it's the Texans, and we gave it to him 500 times. You know, you can't do that in the playoffs against the Chiefs. Like I said earlier, I mean, that's my biggest thing is like we can play our ball during the regular season and have enough to get to the playoffs, but our roster and our play style has to change in the playoffs when it comes to those elite teams.
Yeah, we got to beat a team another way. We're not going to be able to just beat a team running the ball 35 times and that's it. You know, we got to be able to drop back and pass whenever we want to, you know, and I feel like that's the element that we missing to get us to the Super Bowl. We got to be able to pass. Like, it ain't got to be passed at an elite level. We just got to be able to pass to get you to get out them 8-man boxes. Like, we can't even do that.
Yeah, have a respectable pass game. That's all we gotta have.
Yeah,
I mean, we ain't gotta go up out here and be Kansas City. We ain't gotta be the Buffalo Bills. We just need a legitimate pass game. I mean, we need legitimate receivers, and we need a legitimate coordinator that's going to be able to put those receivers in the places they need to be.
Yeah, I want to see somebody come in and actually like set up drives and set up plays for later in the game too. Like run plays that are then so when you run this formation later, they think you're running X play, but then now you're running Y. So it never seemed like Todd Downing was running certain plays or formations to set up plays later in the game. It was just, well, we're just going to run this for now. And I want to see somebody to actually have some strategy to some shit like, well, we're going to keep running this. So then later when we run it, they think we're doing this, but really we're doing something else.
Yeah, pretty much have a feel for the game.
Yes.
All we need, man, is Atlanta to have a bad season so Arthur Smith get fired, man. That's all.
Come back home.
That's all I'm praying on, man. Hey, Arthur Smith should never left.
They're the Titans 2.0, man. They took all our players.
Yes.
You know what's crazy though, is even though they weren't like huge when we made our run, you know, to the AFC Championship, like as far as like throughout the whole season, as far as receivers go, we got to get some receivers that are fast and quick off the line. Because think of when we had Raymond and Batson. Mm-hmm. Did they have incredible numbers? No. But did they make big plays because they were able to get behind that secondary? This year, especially with AJ and all, like, I mean, Burks did it a few times, but we need somebody that can get off that line quick. Yeah. And we don't have that right now.
Yeah, you know me. Look, you know what player I want, man, that can do that. Jalen Hyatt, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, we get Jalen Hyatt, I'm gonna be hyped, man. That'd be a good pickup.
Yeah.
He fit in right because he do exactly what we missing, man. It just to take the top off of a safety, man. He like, you know, remember Will Fuller when he was healthy? That's exactly what he was. That's exactly what Hyatt is to me. You know, so.
Yeah, we need somebody we can throw 50-50 balls to, man. We can't throw any 50-50 balls because our offensive line can't hold up, nor do we have the receivers to get downfield like that.
We need a mixture of a wide receiver that's like Deshaun Jackson in his prime and AJ, and like put that together, and that's what we need.
That's a superhuman, right?
So you like Megatron? You saying we need a Megatron kind of?
We need Michael Jordan of football.
And we do, man. It's 22 in the backfield, man.
We need a Madden created player. Like,
man, we deserve one.
Yeah.
We being that receiver, we deserve it.
Man, we had one, man. His name was AJ Brown, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't understand why we let him go, man. You pay that man, dude. I don't get it. Until we get another good receiver, I'm gonna keep saying that. We should have paid.
So, you know, in the Texans game this year, how like Henry took over, literally, he's won that game for us. Whatever. I know it's the Texans, but the 49ers game, RJ, the one you were telling me you were at, first half we kind of played like ass a little bit. Second half, we won that game not on Henry's back. We threw it to AJ every single time.
Yes.
We don't have that now. If Henry can't get it going, we don't. What are we going to? I mean,
there's no plan B.
I mean, Burks is not there yet. Like,
no. Yeah, he's still developing.
Let me ask you something about that game right there, Tyler.
Okay.
Yeah, so you just mentioned that the first half, I mean, it wasn't anything. And I was watching that game at home, and I could hear those boos, you know, from TV, and I knew where those boos were coming from. That was tied down. And talk about what you heard inside the stadium.
Oh, we were like, please God, let's get to this cool ass light show. Like, I was like, man, I think that was one of my first night games I worked. I was like, it's near Christmas. I was like, man, I'm sitting here. Like, gosh. And then all of a sudden, the entire booth just erupted in the second half, and it was like AJ. Like it's awesome, man. I've got some videos
at the game, and I said, man, the way this game going, just throw it to AJ on every play.
It changed from the booze to, hey, this light show's really cool, to the AJ show real quick.
Yeah, man, that game was it was awful the first half, man. I mean, he just kept on just running. Like, dude, it's not.
Now we didn't even have Henry. We had Foreman and
You're right.
McNichol.
Henry was in.
Yeah.
You right about that. My bad about that. But yeah,
Hey, that's another person. That's another player.
Yeah.
Why
we get rid of Deontay Foreman?
Hey, y'all know
Henry
who they
and
just
Foreman?
hired,
Good
right?
luck stopping that. I'm just saying.
Y'all know who the Panthers just hired, right?
Yeah, Frank Wright.
Yep.
Hey, we might could get Deontay Foreman back, man, because you know he's gonna get pissed off if the second Frank gets to call too many passing plays.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I would like that.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, Frank, Frank doesn't believe in running the football. He don't think it's a winning formula. I mean,
even when he has Taylor, when he had
exactly.
Yeah.
So hey, Deontay, I mean, hey, the door might be open. You never know.
Well, you guys ready to go ahead in this show, man?
Yeah, man.
Tonight,
yeah,
man.
let's go ahead and wrap it up, man. I mean, we appreciate everybody coming through. I mean, we had a lot of people in the comments, and even though we can't see everybody, man, I want to give 3 people who I know for a fact that was up in them comments a shout out to Brandon, shout out to Brent, shout out to Jordan, man. Thank y'all for supporting the show. Everybody, thank you for supporting the show, because y'all honestly make this show. I mean, we have our topics that we hit on or whatever, but the rest of the time, man, we just chopping it up with y'all, man. So thank y'all, RJ, Firestone, Tyler. Y'all go ahead and do what y'all do.
No, I appreciate y'all having me on. Any other time, if y'all don't have a guest and need one, I'll fill in. I'm down, man. I had a great time with you guys. It's been good just to talk to people that know what the hell they're talking about. So I appreciate
it. Yeah. Like I said, when I was first I was talking Morocco, and I seen how very detailed, how very, saying much he loves the Titans, like how much as I do. I was all this is the match made in heaven. Then I talked with Firestone. He told me he was an Oilers fan. I knew the commitment that he had as a Tennessee Titans.
That's awesome.
Man, so, and Tyler King, man, talking to you into the group chat, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not the group chat, but the message, man.
Yeah.
You tell me that, man, how much you love him. I knew the show was gonna be good, man. It was a good show today.
I appreciate y'all
for coming out, man. You know what I'm saying? Taking time out your day to do this show. This is the thing I look forward to in the week, man. I love coming on this show and talking about my favorite team. So
yes, and everybody, like I said, thank y'all for coming through. Make sure y'all like, comment, share this, tell all your friends about it, that we got this going on as well. Check out the merch. We got the merch, justoneapparel.com/Titans Coliseum, or you can just go justoneapparel.com, and it's right there on the front page.
I gotta get my swag, man.
Yeah,
man,
we got you.
I'm waiting myself, man. Mine's in the mail. I'm waiting on my
his is in the mail. Matter of fact,
so I can pull up in and all.
Yeah, man. We're gonna get you the website, bro, so you can get yours, man.
I need your sides and stuff, and that way we can get you something out there for being on the show. So we like to give the guests a little something. So absolutely
appreciate y'all, man.
Most definitely. All right, we going ahead in this thing, man. Hey, peace out. I'm glad you guys joined. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And
salute to y'all, man. Thanks for watching.